First of all, how cool is this? I'm here in LA, I'm in the Disney studios and joined by the one and only Jesse McCartney. Jesse, how's it going?
It's going great, man. It's good to see you.
You too. Thanks a million for joining us here today. So how's your day going so far?
It's going well. I'm trying to dodge traffic in Los Angeles. That seems to be an issue these days. But I'm great. This is your first time in LA, huh?
First time in LA. Absolutely loving it, Jesse, so far.
Good.
So we're going to talk about LA in just a second. First of all, the new album. How's it coming along?
It's really coming together. I have a plethora of music at this point. I've been working on the record for several months, and right now we're working on sequencing the record and choosing the songs that are going to be, that make up the album. It's exciting, man. It's an exciting time. I'm definitely working on a new image, a new look, a whole new, vision, and I think it's going to throw people off at first, but I think people are really going to enjoy this new sound.
So what's it like being back in studio? Are you enjoying it?
It's and I always forget what it's like, because you make a record once and then you go out and you tour it for a year or two and you're traveling, and for me, I'm definitely well into the acting world as well, so getting back into the studio, it just reminds me how much I love to make music, especially working with these producers that I'm working with now, that really have a tight grip on this new sound. It's been amazing, man.
And how would you describe the sound of your new album, Jesse?
Well, I like to put it like it's kind of got a retro 80s pop sound. Very big, very synth driven. Most of the record was done like with programmed sounds, not a lot of live instrumentation, which there is, an art to, and a lot of people oversee that. That it's a tricky thing trying to find the right sounds and the right melodies that fit that kind of description, and as much as the melodies are contemporary pop today, it's definitely got a kind of retro feel to it, so I'm very excited about it.
Sounds good. And of course writing is a huge thing for you as well. You're always involved with the writing of all your songs. Is it very important to you?
It's very important, and as much as I've been co-writing on this record, one thing that I've learned from the last album is that a lot of times, like when I went into this record again, I thought I'm going to write every song. I'm going to make it a record that I write solely by myself, and I realized people that I really know are very talented writers started saying, Jesse, I got this song that I wrote, and it turns out that I think it would be perfect for this record. What do you think? I'd take a listen, and it would be great. So, there's definitely several songs that I didn't write but connected with on this new album. But again, when I am in the studio and I'm working with other writers, I certainly do a lot of collaborating and put a lot of my own words in there as well. So.
And now, Jesse, you covered a song that's just about to be absolutely massive in both the UK and Ireland for a girl called Leona Lewis, Bleeding Love, an amazing song.
Yeah. I actually originally wrote that song for my record, and I wrote it with this guy, Ryan Teddard, who is in One Republic, and they just have a song out right now featuring Timbaland called Apologize, I think it's called. Oh, yeah. And so the two of us wrote that song for my album, and amongst the chaos and the working nonstop, realized that at this point it may not be like the best song for my album, although I might decide to put it on my record. I haven't decided yet. But when they said, Leona Lewis, Clive Davis called and said, we really want this song for Leona. We were stoked for her to record it. So I hope it's a big success for her over there. And
how do you feel about other people singing your songs, Jesse?
It's great, man. It's great. There's actually a couple of groups here in LA. I've been doing a lot of writing, and not just for myself, for other artists and like Leona. And there's a couple of boy bands here that are just starting up. One of them is the New Menudo, and there's a boy band called Varsity that's coming up. And there's a possibility that they might record a couple songs that I had written with the Underdogs, who are a group of producers. So yeah, man, just the everyday hustle and grind, and just trying to, establish myself as a writer as well.
Wow, good stuff. So just getting back to your album again, when is it out in shops?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. I think everyone at the label wants to know here at Disney too. But I told Bob Cavallo, who's the president here of Hollywood, that I'd deliver him the album in the beginning of December, which means that we'll put a single out in January probably, and then the record will come out March, April.
Okay, so just moving on now to LA life. How cool is LA?
I love LA, man. I mean, it's definitely a great place, and I grew up in New York, so New York is definitely still home for me, and it's hard to really to top New York. And they're two totally different lifestyles, two totally different worlds. Los Angeles is very convenient for what I do. Obviously, my music is here, my acting career is here. Everyone that I work with lives out here. And I'm not gonna lie, I love to party, I love to have a good time. I work hard and I play hard, so it's definitely fun to be, out and about in LA, and it's a good time, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Good stuff. It is an amazing place to party. What's your kind of favorite place to club?
I mean, that's the question that I have to answer diplomatically, because here in the U.S. I'm not legally allowed to drink or party here at any of these clubs. But certainly some of these hot spots here in Los Angeles are, people come from all over the world, and they make it a point to go to clubs such as Les Deux or Area or restaurants. I'm a big fan of eating more than anything. Like I just would rather go to the nicest restaurants. I'm a food connoisseur, so there's places like the Geisha House and the Little Door, and there's this amazing Italian restaurant called La Loggia on Ventura Boulevard. So there's definitely some hidden hot spots that you just kind of have to search out when you're out here.
And back to clubs. We're on the guest list for Crimson tomorrow, Les Deux on Saturday. Are we going to have a good time?
I would love to come. I might have to go to San Diego tomorrow, but I might do a little partying down in San Diego. But that's what people do when they live in LA. Once they're sick of the LA life for a little bit, they just drive 2 hours south to San Diego and get a little taste of San Diego, which is another amazing city here in Southern California. But, yeah, man, maybe I'll join you.
Good stuff, Jesse. So now another big part of LA, of course, is the paparazzi. Mm-hmm. What are your views on them?
Man, I go back and forth with the paparazzi, and it's kind of a hate-love relationship with them, for every artist. Thank you so much. Just I got my iced coffee. Sorry, guys. I'm falling asleep. You know what? It's kind of a hate-love thing with paparazzi because, as much as they are responsible for keeping your grill, up on the magazines and in the press, they really can be unbelievably annoying, and it is to me one of the creepiest jobs I think ever known. Just weird. These people you got to wonder what their personal lives are like. Either they're not getting laid or they need a girlfriend or something's going on. I don't know. But anyway, I actually recently had a run-in. A guy bumped into the back of my car, and I thought to myself when I was sitting in the driver's seat, I said, I can really freak out right now and jump out of the car and scream at this dude, or I can just play it cool. And I did. I played it cool. He was really nice, and he took the info, and he actually snapped a bunch of shots of the back of my bumper that he screwed up pretty good. So he's got to fix my car now. But it's not as bad, for some people. They're definitely, I think the paparazzi are attracted more to the women here in LA. They're all over people like Britney and Hayden Panettiere and a lot of these female celebs. But I avoid it when I can, and when they're around, I wave, I say hello. It's if you're nice to them, they respect you at least a little bit.
And then you did, of course, mention Britney there. What do you make of the whole Britney situation at the moment?
Man, I'm just one of those guys that I still believe. I still think that the girl, she's got a hit song right now, and for what that's worth, I know it's not worth a lot to many people, but imagine being Britney Spears, where every single person on the face of the earth, I've traveled through Ecuador and some of these really impoverished countries, and you'll see these little broken down huts with pictures of Britney Spears up, and every single person knows her face. And imagine being in that position where everybody knows who you are. It would drive you literally insane. Not that she's insane. I think she needs a little bit of guidance. She's Britney freaking Spears, man. She's the biggest female pop star in the world, and I'm still pulling for her. I think she's gonna be all right. She needs a little guidance.
Now, just getting back to paparazzi again and all that kind of stuff, what are your views on Perez Hilton, who is completely slagging people off, yourself included, for the last couple of years?
Perez, man, again, another hate-love relationship with Perez. I've never personally met him, but yeah, he's bagged me a couple times. I've been anxious to tell him that, because he fell in love with Bleeding Love, that song. There's a clip of him singing the whole song into a camera, which is a little scary in my opinion, but he really likes the song. I feel like telling him, dude, I wrote that, so you'd be on my good side.